Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the Friday, August 20th, 2010 edition of the Mikey Report. Glad you can be with us, and of course, if you are wondering what this string is behind me, it is, yes, a balloon. A happy birthday balloon, because I have turned 23. So, this is a slight birthday special, but before I get to news, I want to give a shout out to all those friends who have watched mine through the links on Facebook. All my friends and who've wished me a happy birthday. I've lost count, probably close to 150 of them. I have to thank them, and also thank the people who gave me this balloon. The Valley Forge women's soccer team. The women and the men's soccer teams here have made my birthday the last couple of years very special, and I have to thank them because I love having birthdays that are special to me, and it just when they did the stuff that they've done for me, I've been teary-eyed both times, so I have to thank them for that. And I don't know who the organizers are behind it. I have a feeling who they are. Sarah and Bethany. Two great girls. I've known them for a few years now, so I have to say thank you to those two. They've been such great friends and so affectionate of giving me a great birthday, even though we don't have many resources as college students. Okay, now that my shout-outs, teary or not, are done, let's get to the news, because I have a lot to cover and not enough time to do it in. Alright, first off, there's some good news for those of you who are allergic to peanuts but love baseball as well. There's peanut-free seats, a move by baseball teams in the majors are more to help fans relax than counter real safety threat. Catering to allergy sufferers and parents concerned about the reactions that can range from minor irritation to life-threatening anaphylactic shock, a third of Major League ball clubs are offering peanut-free seating at some games this season. While there's disagreement about how much exposure can trigger a reaction, the peanutless seats are a hook that's gaining traction from Boston to Atlanta. So that's definitely a good thing, especially those allergic to peanuts. But if you're allergic to peanuts, it's definitely unique. Alright, we have some entertainment news. We had that sports health news, sports and health related news, and now we have celeb troubles again. Are Lindsay Lohan's troubles linked to a misdiagnosis? Doctors at UCLA say that Lilo doesn't have ADHD, according to TMZ. Apparently, she does not have a drug problem and was misdiagnosed, according to the rehab facility. Dina Lohan's declaration last week on Today, where she said Lindsay would leave rehab early, may come true. The elder, Lohan, has maintained all along that her daughter does not have an addiction problem, a claim the TMZ report appears to back up. Judge on Lohan's case could modify her court-ordered stint in rehab as early as next Wednesday. Although she was known to have been using a number of prescription drugs, Michael Lohan claims that Lilo's father claims that she was previously misdiagnosed with ADHD and mistakenly prescribed Adderall to treat it, which was one of the drugs that were in question. So, we are wondering a lot. Well, according to Lilo's attorney, Lilo's mentally and physically strong and healthy. Lawyer wouldn't confirm a possible misdiagnosis of the ADHD, however. So we are gonna be keeping an eye on that, seeing if she does get out. But we have some political news. As always, if we didn't, it wouldn't be us. We have a top 10 governors the top 10 governor races so we can possibly see which races are much needed to follow in this midterm election. First is Wyoming. Matt Mead versus Dave Freudenthal. Or actually, Dave Freudenthal is an outgoing, but Matt Mead is the GOP and overwhelming favorite to replace him. That was in Wyoming. Kansas is number 2. Top 3 didn't change: Wyoming, Kansas, and Tennessee. Apparently Sam Brownback will be in Kansas. Tennessee, Bill Haslam versus Mike McWhirter, or Werter, to replace Governor Phil Bredesen. And Haslam has the edge. So it looks like we got 3 Republicans going in Wyoming, Kansas, and Tennessee. So that's going to shift it a little bit. Pennsylvania is down to 8. 4, 5, 6, and 7 kind of flip-flopped. 4 and 7 flip-flopped, and 5 and 6 flip-flopped. 4 is Iowa. Michigan's 5, they were 6, where Hawaii is now. And Oklahoma's 7. Pennsylvania's 8. Corbett is the front-runner to succeed Rendell. I personally would not mind Tom Corbett as governor, and he seems like a pretty nice guy and someone who will do well for the state of Pennsylvania. Connecticut comes in at 9 and Minnesota at 10. We got Pennsylvania is at a lean Republican rating, along with Iowa, Michigan, Oklahoma, and Texas. Solid Democrat will be New Hampshire, Arkansas, and New York. Solid Republican, Alaska, Kansas, Nebraska, Utah, Wyoming, and South Dakota. Tennessee is probable Republican. So that is definitely something we will be looking for over the next couple months. Of course, we will have complete election coverage here on the Mikey Report, or if I tend to call it MCBN, that's because that's what I like to call my network in the future. MCBN, short for Mount God Broadcasting Network, your #1 Christian Friday network. Alright. In more news, Rob Blagojevich is saying, "Let them retry me." In retrospect, the former Illinois governor said he trusted wrong people. He also spoke a little too much. If you watch The Celebrity Apprentice like I do, yeah, you kind of get that same feeling. That Blagojevich talks a little too much for his own good. If he knew how to shut his mouth, I think he'd be in less trouble. Don't you think? And also, President Obama, you've spoken a lot about change. You've done a lot of change. Has it done good for America? Not really. So, you say it's done good, but we don't see the effects of it. And by the time we may see effects of it, you could possibly be out of office. Why? Because how your ratings have been going, I think they're worse than George W.'s. In my personal opinion, I don't think Barack Obama is going to make it to a second term. Which is going to be one of the rare shocks in recent history. Because, let's see, Clinton was 2-term. George W. was 2-term. I think George Herbert Walker was 2-term. I would not be surprised if Obama is only 1 term, not 2. And speaking of George W., is there a quiet resurgence? He's enjoying a mini moment of grudging acceptance, if not affection. 7 years ago, then President Bush stood beneath a banner on an aircraft carrier and declared that major combat operations in Iraq had ended. Wednesday, this actually happened. And by design, Bush was nowhere to be seen. Moment of political closure brought to us not by Bush but by Obama, who delivered on a campaign promise that was the original seed from which his campaign grew. So there's the one plus in Barack Obama's book. But it might not last. As a candidate, Obama vowed to end the war in Iraq, and thus troops will remain, skirmishes will continue, and there's no guarantee that the age-old sectarian forces in Mesopotamia won't resume their bloody rivalry. Bush's war is over. So, we'll see what happens there with him. But that egg recall is continuing. I think I tried to mention it on the One Mikey report, and that's like 9 minutes long now. I didn't mention it then because I ran out of time. I was having issues with the connection. So, yeah, it's now to about more than half a billion eggs. Investigation nationwide salmonella outbreak expands to a second Iowa farm. More than 1,000 people already sickened, and toll of illnesses expected to increase. Hildendale Farms in Iowa said Friday it was recalling more than 170 million eggs after lab tests confirmed salmonella. Company didn't say if its action was connected to Wright County Egg, another farm in Iowa that recalled 300 million eggs earlier in the week. Latest recall puts the total number of potentially tainted eggs at over 500 million. 550 million. FDA spokeswoman said 2 recalls are related. Strain of salmonella causing the poisoning is the same in both cases. Salmonella enteritis. So we are going to take a brief commercial break. We do have more to talk about this egg-catastrophe. And also, what's the new Google? Is this something that a lot of college students are, and now teens, and now older people are familiar with? We'll have that, plus weather and sports, coming up on the second half of the Mikey Report.